So next plot is scatter plots. Scatter plots are also plotted using the plot command only, or plot function. So scatter plot shows many points plotted in the Cartesian plane. Each point represents the value of two variables. So I have already shown it in the earlier description. One variable is chosen in the horizontal axis and another in the vertical axis. So the simple scatter plot is created using plot function. The basic syntax for creating scatter plot in R is same, that is plot xy, then main, x label, y label, x limit, y limit, and axis. Likewise, there are many more parameters depending on the requirement, you can use it. So again, we already have x variables with us and y also we have with us. We also have d with us, right? Now I'm just pasting. So this was the command. No, actually we want which one? This one. Let me check whether it is getting copied or not. So yes, so this was the command which was written in the literature. So here x and y, so I will replace this small x with capital X because our variables are with the capital names, so we need to provide proper data. Now main, we can label like scatter plot example. Then x label, you can have it as suppose x, then y label is equal to y, these are the text only. Then x limit I can use, so as we have used in earlier case also, suppose I am using 0 to 50, and for y limit again we can see here y limit also, suppose 30 is the maximum value, so I can choose for 0 to 30, right? And then here there is one more parameter, axis. So here axis means if it is true then what happens, and if it is false then what happens. We'll see both the things. Now somewhere it is wrong, something is wrong. So what error it is showing, just check. Unexpected comma in plot. Okay, where it is there, comma, C. Yes, one C is missing here for vector representation. I have just written the limit but not written vector representation. Now this is okay. So now see, same type of plot we have got when we have used line chart. So in the scatter plot, we are just putting points on the plot. See main, the title is given, x and y is represented. Now see the scale, 0 to 50 limit I have given for x axis, 0 to 30 limit I have given for y axis, and there was a axis is equal to true, so we are getting axis here. So it was by default true only, that's why we are not getting any difference here if we have written it true or false. Now if I make it false, then see what happens. What happened? So here you are only getting the points plotted, the labels, but you are not getting the axis to be displayed. Okay, so in this way you can decide whether you want to show the axis or not. Okay, and you can use it. So I hope you have understood all the types of plots which we have discussed. Okay, next point which we are starting here, which is very important from programming of R, okay, point of view. So programming in R, for that we need different control structures. We use control structure. Without control structures, no programming language can exist. Okay, so what do you mean by control structures and why they are called as control structures? So as the name suggests, control and structures. So it is going to control what it is going to control. It is controlling the flow of code, flow of commands, in what sequence the different statements, commands written to be executed. So as the name suggests, a control structure controls the flow of code, commands written inside a function. So a function is a set of multiple commands written to automate a repetitive coding task. So very first and usually required control structure is if else, that is branching statement. Okay, so this structure is used to test a condition. So below is the condition. Here again I am copying this structure and then we will try some examples. Okay, so very first syntax is what? If condition do something like this. So this is the syntax. I'm just clearing everything now because we are moving to new concept, programming concept. I'm using one script file where I'll store all these things. Okay, so this is the syntax. If, then condition, and this is a command, do something else, do something, and closing bracket. So what is the syntax for if else in our language? If, same as you are using in the C, C++ or Java, right? Now we will take the example from this. Next is change, little change in the if else, that is conditional statements which we are using in C, question mark and colon. Similarly, you can have second type of syntax for if else. So how you will use it? You will use it like this. So again I am copying here and pasting. So this is the second type of syntax. If else x is less than 10, then you have to print x less than 10 comma x greater than 10. Suppose I want to execute this statement. Okay, so to execute this, very first I need to give some value. See, this is small x, I am assigning it to 5 value. Okay, just check it is stored or not. Yes, it is stored. Now I am just copying it. So control A, no, not, I don't want control A, I want only this statement to be copied. So control C, and here I am pasting control V. Let us check anything happens. See, so what is the code line? If else, it is written together. So see the syntax clearly noted down. X is less than 10 comma, directly the string is written without any parameter, without any print. Okay, and you can get, so here since x is having, what was the x value? 5, and when I have executed this, if it is less than equal to 10, then it should print x less than 10, otherwise it should print x greater than 10. Now if I change the x value to 12 and if I again execute the same statement, now what is output expected? Here expected output will be x is greater than 10. So see here, it is showing the same thing. So I hope you have understood it. Next is, so this is vectorization with if else. Now other valid ways of writing if else. So again I am copying this and we will test it. So again I am copying here. So if sample x comma 1 less than 10, 5 is assigned to y, else 0 is assigned to y. Now next is, if sample x comma 1 is less than 10, then you have to assign 5, else 0. So these two are doing, these two things are doing same thing, right? So what they are doing here, sample x comma 1. Now what this sample function does, so it is again a inbuilt function. So let us first try this sample, and here there is a x comma 1. Okay, so here if I write x comma 1, just check what happens. So it is having only one value, that's why it is printing only 10. Again if I execute this, now I am getting value as 5. Again I am trying to execute this, again it is giving me value 5. Now it is giving 9. So what you will conclude from this observation? So it is concluded from this observation that sample is giving you one sample value. Okay, if I write here 2, what happened? Now you will be getting 2 samples. I hope you have understood. So here sample function is giving you some random value. So how many random values you want, that count is to be specified here. So now I am copying this, Control C, Control V. Okay, so you will see that there is no output. You can say that there is no output. So but it is executed correctly without an error, is it? So if sample x comma 1 is less than 10, y is assigned 5, otherwise y is assigned 0. So nowhere you have written such comments so that it could be printed and you can verify whether it is correctly executed or not. So here if you want to verify this output is correctly executed or not, this is correctly storing some y value to some value in y or not. So how you can test? Just type y. Now what you observed? You observe that y is having the value 0. That means the sample which was taken was less than 10 or greater than 10. If it was less than 10, then 5 could have stored in y. But since the sample was having a value greater than 10, 0 has got stored into the y variable. Now if I again execute the same, I am again Control V. Okay, now again it is executed. Let us try now what type of sample it has taken. Again I am printing y value. Now what happened? It is printing y. So same code is executed 2 times, but for one case it is giving you 0 value, that is 0 is assigned to y, but for another sample, for another value, the y is having value 5. So from this, what we can conclude, that when it was taking sample that is having value less than 10, and hence 5 was assigned to y, and that's why you can here verify that 5 is displayed for the y value. So I hope you have understood it. Next is the similar kind of version without assignment. How you can do it? See the things. I am again copying and now pasting. See what happened. If sample x comma y is less than 10, now the curly brackets as usual here. Now where is the change? Instead of this y is assigned to written inside the blocks, this is commonly taken out and it is written as y is assigned. Okay, and then this if condition is written, and what is to be assigned is written only inside the blocks. Okay, now no error, it is executed correctly. Now verify exactly what is stored in y. So here we can conclude again that sample which was taken was having value less than 10. That's why 5 is assigned to var variable. So I hope you have understood the control structure, if else, how it is utilized, and there are many multiple ways. If you will go to any literature on net, you will find many ways you can use this if else, that in many ways, in the sense, in a condition you can put it in different ways. Okay, so try all this and verify whether you are getting everything or not. So with this we have discussed 3 ways in which we can write the if. Would you like to try